All right, guys, it smells absolutely incredible out here on the Two Casa patio because we've got some roasting. Holy moly, green chilies! I want you to see that. Take a look over here really quick. John Sickler from Sickler Farms is busy away roasting chilies. And of course, 'tis the season for chilies. August, September, my favorite time of year, because that smell of roasted green chilies just permeates the air. And of course, we are talking about this with our around town expert, Yelp representative Howie Keibel. Howie and I are standing safely away from the flames. All right, so we're going to talk with John in a few minutes about his farm, what makes the chili special. But of course, New Mexico, if we're not famous for balloons, we're famous for our green chili. So what makes our chili so special?
Well, you know, it's as John was telling me, most of the chili that you're going to get here is it's hand roasted, and you know, it comes from families with long traditions of doing this. But what's important to know about New Mexico, or about chili in general, is 82% of the chili consumed in the U.S. is actually grown out of the country. So it's very important to go local.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's, the industry has really plummeted in New Mexico in general. So because they're China, Mexico, South America, you're going to find a lot of this stuff grown. So it's very important to support these local growers.
That's fascinating. I had no idea. All right, so John, I don't know. Do you have to continue stepping, or actually, what I'll do is come over here, make it easy on you, my friend.
It's almost done. Yeah.
So tell us about Sickler Farms.
Sickler Farm has been going for a long time. I was just telling Howie that my great-great-grandparents settled here in the Middle Rio Grande Valley in the late 1860s. I'm going to have to look this way a little bit and make sure.
Go ahead. I'll follow you, buddy.
Don't burn the chili.
Don't do that.
So in 1987, my wife and I opened a little store on San Mateo, and we've been doing it ever since. So
wow.
In fact, I figured out this year that I've been doing this as long as I haven't been doing this. So
really?
I was a young man when I started this.
You're still young, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the process of roasting chilies, how long does it take when it's flamed up like that? What's the timeline?
So that's a question I get a lot, right? And it's dependent on a bunch of different things. And this is going to sound a little bit weird, but a lot of it's depending on which way the wind's blowing and how hard the wind's blowing, which seems kind of weird, right? But if you get this steady kind of wind blowing over the top of your roasters, it can take half the time as it normally would, or if you set your roasters up against the wind. The other thing is the mild and the medium are a lot more meaty, and they don't have there's not as many pods per sack, and you have a lot more surface area on the hot and the extra hot, so it takes less time as well.
Okay.
But overall, so it ranges for a sack of chili, which is about 1.5 bushels. It's going to take probably anywhere from 4 to 7 minutes to roast a sack.
Wow. Yeah. That's fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
That's really fast.
Yeah,
okay.
really fast.
So we're going to ask Howie here in just a second about the best places around town, but if we want to pick up some of your green chilies, where can we get them?
820 San Mateo Northeast. So we are 2 blocks south of Lomas on the east side of the street.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so if we're not getting it from Sickler Farms, Howie, taking my cable here, I'm not wireless right now. What are some of the other good places around town to pick up our chilies?
Well, Sickler Farms is a really highly rated place to pick them up. They also have a red chili that's incredible, but a few others: Wagner Farms out in Corrales, Chili Connection, Rosales Produce, and Chili Traditions.
Chili Traditions. Okay, fantastic. So again, and as Howie was saying, I didn't realize how much out of the country chilies people are consuming in the United States. So we're going to start a revolution today to make sure that New Mexico certified green chilies are on every table in the country. Because Howie and I got nothing better to do than start a chili revolution.
Sounds good to me.
So for more information on Sickler Farms and on Yelp.com, of course, head over to Casa.com, click on the Style tab. But for now, of course, we're talking about, if we're not famous for our green chilies, we're famous for our balloons. So in this week's Walk and Talk, we're asking you, what's your favorite thing about the Balloon Fiesta?